Okay, hello everyone. This is Sharonda, and this is my podcast as well as my YouTube channel, Spiritual Sense. Today is June the 9th, which is a Sunday. And so, in this podcast as well as YouTube channel, I go over topics involving the paranormal, occult, supernatural. Um, So I like to stress that it is for entertainment purposes, sometimes educational or even informational purposes. So it is optional. Okay. I think most people have a curiosity into the paranormal, the occult, supernatural, particularly when things may be a little bit off in this life experience and you begin to question purpose, you begin to question a lot of things in life. And I think gravitating to this art or this science or this study, I think God will provide answers. I do. Um, so I had an incident occur last weekend that I don't have real good explanation about. Maybe it's just me or whatever the case may be. I spoke about this topic two times already. I did a part one, part two, and this is going to be part three. And what is the topic? Well, optical illusion part three, vanishing spirits. Do you believe in such things? Do you believe that um something can disappear abracadabra right before your eyes and there's no scientific explanation as to how it occurred? Do you believe something such as this? Well, I'm going to tell you that I do believe it's God's way of conveying a message without coming forthright and saying it, if that makes any sense to anybody. And so, what do I mean by that? Well, so I had an incident to occur. I was on vacation last weekend, and upon leaving, I'm on the road about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours drive. And it's a long stretch. I mean, the roads are long, and I mean, it's like gas stations every 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I didn't catch any street lights, and I'm saying to myself, I need to hurry up and get back home. That's what I need to do because if I break down, I will be through. As the saying goes, up shit creek without a paddle. Yeah. So upon driving, my child began to act, kind of weird. So that's okay. Maybe this is a sign of something that's about to occur. Well, a police officer proceeds to peer in my rear view mirror, Appleton County. So I'm saying to myself, okay, what is this all about? What's going on with this? And as he appears in my proceeds to speed up, and so I proceed to say, okay, let me take my feet off of the brake or what have you. So he continues to, then he kind of slow down, he speeds up a little, and he's kind of adjacent to me. So I'm like, okay, he wants to show out or let me know that he, got some little power. He got a badge and a gun and all this other stuff. So I said, okay, let me just go ahead and slow down even further because at the point where he began to go from behind and we're side by side and then he goes up, I said, okay, I'm going to let him feel as though you're a police officer, whatever. It was at the point where the speed limit changed. So I said, okay. So I proceeded to let up or whatever. Then as we approach, there was a cross street. Now, mind you, this is a double street. It's a state route. So it's two lanes on one highway, and then there's one part of the street, and then there's two lanes on the other part of the street. But we approach a lane where this person can either make a left turn to go across 2 lanes into a side street, or he can make a U-turn. So as we approach this, he gets into the lane and he's putting on brakes. And I'm like, okay, is he playing with me to try to get behind me or what's going on? So I see his brakes as he's getting into this lane. And how long does it take to look at your speedometer and look back up? Not even 2 seconds. So, and that's what I did to check my speed because mind you, I'm on one side of the state trying to get back to the other side of the state and I'm pushing it. But when this person came into my rearview mirror, I knew, okay, check your speed. So as this person is the police officer is in the left lane to get ready and his brakes. I'm seeing the brake. I never seen the police officer. I just seen the car of the police officer. I wasn't able to look inside of the car at the point. So the person is in the left lane to turn. Well, the person is on brakes, and at that moment I glance down at my speedometer, and I look back up, and I kid you not, this police officer could not have went across 2 lanes to that other side street, nor made a U-turn because not only did I not see the police officer in my rearview mirror, I did not see the police officer in my side mirror, nor did I was able to see that he had went down the side street. So I'm saying to myself, I said to my child, I said, where did that police officer go? Because I didn't see it. So I'm assuming, well, maybe the police officer is behind me to pull me over. I look, he's not behind me. He's not on the side road adjacent to me. So I'm trying to figure out where did it go? Or where did he go, she go, or whatever go? So it mentions to me prior to this incident, that was a spirit. I kid you not. Because my child began to act in such a way, and I was like, okay, this is a spirit. And then, as I mentioned, this is when this happened. So, do you believe something like that can happen? Abracadabra. Well, I'm going to tell you what I took from that incident. Do I believe that something tangible that you can touch, taste, feel, sense, hear can just up and disappear? Well, I don't want to give anything like that in the power. Because when you begin to say things like that, somebody can violate you and then they can turn around and say, oh, it's all in your head. So certain things, I believe, mastery of the works of Satan will have you turn against yourself or speak against yourself. So you want to be conscientious that it is, but you don't want to give power over it. It's the point. I think the whole synopsis of this situation that occurred last Sunday, a week ago today, was God well letting me know, don't pay attention to that because that's essentially what it is, a spirit. And you would know when you're dealing with demonic spirits. You would know when are dealing with malevolent spirits, mischievous spirits, and that are looking to show off, and things of that sort. Because I want to feel empowered, I want to get behind the wheel, and then I want to, exude my authority or so-called authority. Okay, so saying this to say, do you believe that there are such things as vanishing spirits? And that's why I decided to entitle this Optical Illusion Vanishing Spirits. Do you believe something like that is real? Do you believe there's a such thing as something going abracadabra, like right before your eyes? Is there a such thing as that? So I'm going to see if I'm able to pull up some information because I was going to speak on this on last week, but by the time I got home, I said, you know what? No. I'm not going to speak on this because I'm tired, number one. And number two, I wasn't tired. I was very alert when I what? When I got up. I mean, I was very alert when I was driving because I'm a very conscientious driver. Because I do know that um, you have to be aware it's a privilege to drive, and the enemy seeks to steal, kill, and destroy. That means take whatever it can and make a lie out of you so you won't be able to have the privilege of driving. It's the point. I am very aware of that. So maybe I shouldn't put vanishing spirits. Vanishing spell charmed. And I do apologize for that, for a lack of creativity. Uh I have not pulled up much information on this, but do you believe in such things as that? Do you believe that you can write a spell or you can cast a spell or a ritual that can banish you or someone away? I do believe that. I do believe that if you ask God to protect you and shield you from any injury, harm, or danger, um, that the person would not see you that are what? Not of your like mindedness or not in your favor. I do believe that. And I want to also make it clear that um, I'm not telling you to do these things out of curiosity. Have a true purpose in doing these things. And what does that mean? And let me turn this light down some. Have a true purpose when you are partaking in things such as this, because I don't want you to feel as though, just put it this way, if somebody does not mean you well, my suggestion to you is to do a banishing spell or even ritual or what have you. If you feel as though you're in a situation, whether it be a domestic violence situation or whatever the case may be, okay, I'm all for it. So it says you would need a slip of paper, a pen, a fireproof bowl, a heat resistant work surface, matches, or a lighter. And in turn, let's pull this out. Um, this spell is a very simple. It's very simple to execute. Begin by writing down what you're banishing, be it the name of a person or a spirit or something more intangible like procrastination or negative self-talk. Focus on what you've written for a moment. Call it to your mind as clearly as you can. So if you feel as though you are in a situation with someone who may be clingy or who may be don't mean you well, like a domestic violence situation, or somebody may be stalking you or harassing you and stuff, light the slip of paper on fire and drop it into the bowl. As it burns, imagine your target leaving your life, and then focus all of your attention on what your life will be like after the banishing takes effect. When the paper is finished burning, you should dispose of the ashes away from your house. You can scatter them on the ground or into the wind, or even just dump them into a trash can outside of your house, but get them away from you as soon as possible, is what it has here. This form of banishing is excellent if you're short on time or energy. It's simple, quick, and to the point. Of course, proper care should be taken not to light yourself or anything else on fire. Don't perform this spell on flammable surfaces, outside on windy days, or in any environment that you can't control. Also, make sure that any pets you may have are out of the room. You wouldn't want any curious whiskers getting singed during your spell, according to what's here. So, saying that to say, let me move this over some. Um, do you think things such as this work? I do. I honestly feel as though things such as this work. It does work. Um, to protect you, I'm all about protection. So what does that mean? I don't need no bugaboos. I don't need no um, harassment and anything of the sort. If you feel as though you are dealing with these things, take these things into consideration. Four thieves vinegar. This vanishing concoction gets its name from a folk tale that tells of four thieves who, during the height of Black Plague, would steal into people's homes and rob them in the night. Instead of catching the plague, they grew healthy and rich. When they were finally apprehended, they struck a bargain to trade their secret recipe in exchange for their freedom. So, this is what you use, it mentions, in the event of things such as this. Take caution. Rosemary, sage, lavender, thyme, mint, garlic, apple cider vinegar, a jar, or other airtight containers. To make this four thieves vinegar, fill a mason jar or other airtight container loosely with your herbs. Fresh herbs are best, is what it mentions. Cover the herbs with apple cider vinegar and screw the lid on tightly. Vinegar can erode metal lids over time, so it's suggested that you use a plastic lid instead. Label and date your jar. Store the vinegar in a cool, dry place. Or your pantry is ideal and gently shake it once a day for 4 to 6 weeks. Strain the herbs out of the vinegar and your root is ready to use. So that's what it mentions in terms of that. Um, when your four thieves vinegar is finished, you can use it in a variety of ways. Traditionally, sprinkling it over your doorsteps is thought to ward away your enemies. It mentions that it can ward off evil and break spells. We have candle banishing. Now, I mentioned this, when I did my tarot card reading earlier, and I went on to mention about um, writing you out a petition or prayer and setting you a candle, burning you a candle, and bring in good energy flow. We're going to bring in positivity. We're going to bring in good energy. We don't want negativity. You would need one black candle, a candle holder, matches, black or white pepper, salt, a carving tool, and anointing oil. Begin by slowly sprinkling salt in a counterclockwise circle around you in your work area. Visualize the salt creating a barrier, protecting you during your ritual. Call the target of your banishing spell to mind and carve your intentions into the candle. Um, like it mentions, Mark will never speak to me again, is an example. My anxiety is gone. So these are some of the things that you can do um, in terms of candle. When you finish, anoint your candle with oil and sprinkle the pepper on it over it. Set the candle into a candle holder and light it. Speaking your intentions aloud. If it feels good, you can turn your intentions into a mantra to chant while the candle burns. Allow the candle to burn itself out. This should be done on a fireproof surface and again, away from pets. Depending on your choice of candle, it may take several hours to completely burn. Do not leave your candle unattended. If you don't wish to burn the entire candle, you can carve a line halfway or a third of the way down the candle and confine your spell carving to the top portion. This can be tricky if you use a taper candle. Be gentle as not to snap it. When the candle burns to its line, you may blow it out and reserve the rest of the candle for another banishing spell. Cleansing and banish. So there's a cleansing and banishing bath you can take. Epsom salts, chamomile, lavender, unsweetened coconut milk. And you want to combine these together, reflective vanishing. It mentions on this website as well. So, saying this to say, let me put this back over here. Um, I honestly believe in vanishing spirits, disappearing by way of banishing spirits away. If you pray to God to protect you and shield you from any injury, harm, or danger, I think that's God's way of showing me in this instance that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, as it is said, it is so. I declare it and I decree because upon taking my little vacation that I did, I managed to go to an island, a peaceful island, beautiful island, and I'm sitting there looking at the water, and water is one of my things that I have to conquer, large bodies of water. And I was spooked, but I felt a sense of tranquility as the water is approaching me, and I began to pay homage to Yemaya and respect for Yemaya and respect for water. That's what I did. And I said a prayer over me and my child, and we was on our way. So it does not surprise me that this incident occurred because God spoke it to me before it arose. He said, "This is a spirit," is what he mentions to me. And I'll leave it at that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude this episode on spiritual sense. Do you believe in vanishing spirits? Do you believe in banishing spells? I do believe in things such as this. Now, I'm not going to give a lot of the energy that comes towards me in the power or what have you, but I do believe in things such as this, okay? So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions or a topic for a future show, you're more than welcome to comment below. Until then, have a safe and wonderful day. Good day.